We're back with our live coverage of Donald Trump's criminal hush money cover-up trial right now, right this second. Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, is cross-examining Michael Cohen, and he is not pulling any punches. Let's bring in trial attorney Misty Marris and criminal defense attorney Jeremy Soland. Jeremy, what is Blanche's overall strategy right now? What is he trying to show the jury?
You know, it's all about credibility, honesty, ethics, integrity. And if Blanche can make this more about the guy who's client and falsifying business records, he's winning. So that's his goal. His goal is to make Michael Cohen unable to give a straight answer, which he's doing okay when I'm reading that his tone is all right, but he's not being unequivocal. So I think he's doing a good job poking the holes and showing the agenda, showing that he's dishonest, and showing he's not to be trusted.
One of the things going on right now, Misty, is the attorney, Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, is driving at the confinement of Michael Cohen when he went away to prison. He said he's asking about his home confinement because he was sent home. This is during a period where a lot of prisoners were going home because of COVID. So Cohen is explaining the terms of his home confinement, where he could spend 3 hours a day outside anywhere in the borough of Manhattan. He said he could go anywhere. Initially, he wore an ankle bracelet, but that turned into him carrying a cell phone. The Bureau of Prisons would track him via the phone, randomly call to check on his whereabouts. He is still on supervised release. He tried to get out of it, but he was denied. I was looking for a reduction in the home confinement portion, Cohen says, adding that in addition to his cooperation, he also wanted his work at Otisville, that's the prison, to be credited. This is presumably Mr. Blanche reminding folks, hey, this guy's a convicted felon, folks.
Yep, definitely reminding he's a convicted felon. Also reminding that he's always looking for an easier way out, something that will lower his sentence. And that's really all enwrapped in what we're talking about, the credibility. There's several different aspects. Number one, he's a known liar. He's lied multiple times. He's lied to federal courts. He's lied before Congress. He's a liar. The second part is he has a direct animus against Donald Trump. And that's where we're seeing the breakdown of the relationship. And we're also, Jake, coming out the gate with those TikToks. That's Michael Cohen's mindset at the time of the trial, not looking back to 2017, 2018. And that's really the defense strategy, to just undermine his credibility at every turn.
So Cohen was seen wearing a T-shirt on TikTok that shows Donald Trump handcuffed, wearing an orange jumpsuit that says Mar-a-Lago Correctional Facility behind bars. Presumably, Jeremy, there's the picture right now, quite a fashion statement. Presumably, the prosecution would rather have a Michael Cohen who had spent the previous 3 years just going about his business quietly, privately, although I guess he can't be an attorney anymore, and not being so vituperative and angry against Trump, so that he could come on the stand in more sorrow than anger. But as Donald Rumsfeld once said, you go to war with the army you have, not the one you want.
Yeah, you know, as some little kids say, you get what you get and you don't get upset. They got Michael Cohen. He is who he is. You know, I think they should have, or at least tried, and I'd like to believe they did try to get him under wraps much better, as opposed to allowing him to go on these rehabilitation, redemption tours and TikTok and podcasts. But he has created this of his own making. And, you know, one of the problems that they have now is I don't think they did the job they should have on the direct to bring everything out so clearly. And now on the defense, they really needed to hammer home, Michael, just say yes or no. Stop being evasive. Stop being equivocating. Just own up to it. Yeah, I was angry. Yeah, I tried to get a better deal. I didn't want to be in jail all that time. Who would want to be in jail all that time? So I think that he's not doing himself any favors then, and he's really not doing himself any favors now, even if it's calm. And Blanche is poking those sort of holes to make this about the credibility and integrity of Michael Cohen, so that ultimately it's the Michael Cohen show, not falsifying business records.
And Misty, Michael Cohen just testified that he's made roughly $3.4 million in sales of his two books over the past four years. He says he doesn't know exactly, but he would say around $400,000 for the book Revenge. That's a lot of money for two books. I mean, that is, I know lots of authors, I've written books too, That is very, very successful. Being a member of the resistance, as it were, has been lucrative for Michael Cohen. I assume that will be something that Todd Blanche tries to hit home.
Yeah, they've already talked about it a bit. He said, isn't there a financial incentive? I believe that T-shirt we were just talking about was merch. I doubt it will be as successful as the books. But the books, that's a significant financial incentive to be out there and be anti-Donald Trump. And does that matter if you're just a citizen? No. But does it matter if you're the star witness in his criminal trial? Of course. And so that's why the defense is going to focus on that. And keep in mind, Jake, there will be an instruction in the jury instructions that will say, if you don't believe one thing he said, Michael Cohen, you can choose to believe none of it. And I think that's what the defense is going to say. They're going to say you should disregard his testimony in total. Now, it's up to the jury, none, some, or all of the testimony. But this is where the defense is going and why credibility is such a fundamental part of this cross-examination.
Misty Marris, Jeremy Soland, thanks to both of you. We're closing in on the final.